Well, Community Cash for Schools program has been around for almost 3 decades. It's a long-standing program here at Community Coffee where we feel that we can achieve what we believe is an important goal for businesses and citizens, and that is paying attention, helping our schools in areas where they need help the most, and oftentimes it's raising funds. So the Community Cash for Schools program is a collect and redeem program that's very effective, and in Louisiana has generated millions of dollars, and we've seen classrooms take $1 and stretch it to $3 in building chicken coops and gardens and teaching supplies, things and resources that teachers need and want, but sometimes are not in the budget. Over 800 schools participated last year, and completed the process and received checks. Today we're going to honor the top 10 earners in the state. So we have schools from around the state present. Some of them have been top 10 earners for many years. Some of them are brand new to the program. One in particular is their third appearance as a top 10 earner, which is thousands of dollars for the school, and they've only participated for 3 years. So right off the bat, they got engaged, got organized, and made this program one of the effective fundraisers for their school.
Thank you so much for coming today. We have a full house, which we're super excited about. We've had another stellar year for our Community Cash for Schools program, and it's because of people like you have joined us and helped collect these for us. We have a couple of reminders today. We have our hashtag we'd love for y'all to use. Take pictures, post on our behalf. We like to share this out, get more schools involved. So hashtag Cash for Schools, hashtag Community Cares. So we have a great program. We're going to announce all of our winners, our top performing winners. We have our top 10 here today. We got one school that's on its way, so hopefully they run in before. Otherwise, we'll circle back to them in the program, make sure they get their check. We have some wonderful speakers, and Matt Siraj will actually introduce them for us. Then we'll take, when you come up, Matt's gonna, we're gonna give you a gift. You're gonna be accompanied by a couple of people. We're gonna try to squeeze you in to this backdrop so we can get your picture today. We'll get that back out to you after the program, and then we'll also take a large group picture on the back porch, and we'll walk you through that once we get there. So we'd love to jump in, and I'll start by introducing you to our fourth generation owner, Matt Siraj.
Thank you. Well, wow, that was really nice. Thank you for the great applause. Glad to have you here. Welcome to your Community Coffee Company. Glad to have you here as our guests. I know I see a lot of familiar faces out there, so got some real excited folks who are multiple time recipients and honorees of being the top 10 for Community Cash for Schools. And for those of you that are new, we're so glad to have you here at Community Coffee, and glad you're part of our family today. Talking about family, I do want to introduce an important person who's in the room, and that is my mother, Donna Siraj. She is real special to me in many ways. Obviously, she's my mom, but she also really underscored the importance of education in my life, in her life, and in the communities that we serve. She and my father were really the guiding force behind the Community Cash for Schools program, and reminding all of us of the importance of education of our youth, and that our future depends on that, and that some of the hardest work, or some of the heroes in our world, are truly the teachers, the administration, the staff who help this process run and help students to learn, and also get engaged with our brand, with the Community Cash for Schools program, that we can make a difference through their efforts. I'm trying to think, I want to be sure to recognize everybody who comes in. So when we go through the program, if we get interrupted by some people who walk in, I know we're waiting on another school, we're just going to casually interrupt the program and make it worth everybody's while. But we're going to keep it moving, keep you moving, and make it a good use of your time. So the Community Cash for Schools program, I told you a little bit about why it exists. It's important to us. It's one of our pillars of what we believe is the right thing to do as a corporate citizen. But it only is successful because of your participation, your leadership, and the participation of the parents, the businesses, grandparents who collect the proofs of purchase and redeem them and turn them into the school and count them. I know you do a lot of counting. And through that, millions and millions of proofs of purchases each year are sent in to us. That makes the program work, and we're very proud of the numbers we've achieved this year in participation, not only in schools, as we had 800 schools participate this year, roundabout, but a little over 800 schools, but also in the over 3 million proofs of purchase that were collected by businesses. So congratulations. You all in particular did a lot of heavy lifting. That's why you're here as a top 10 winner. As a company, we support many things. We support those who serve in our military. We believe being socially responsible and taking care of the environment as an agricultural product, coffee is. We believe that's important, and we believe education is important. And that's really the three things that Community Coffee supports with some of our profits. And we dedicate a percentage of our profits, about 2.5% actually of our pre-tax profits are put back into the community in different ways. This is only one of three ways, but it is our strongest and the one that we've really been at for almost 3 decades. We have a Community Cash for Schools program, and so we're really proud of the program success that we've had. Before I speak anymore, because I was, as you were told by Jody, we have talented speakers today. I'm not one of them. I'm just here to keep things moving on, but we do have some special guests I want to recognize and call up to the front. And the first is your Louisiana Teacher of the Year, Kim Eckert. Please join me. And what I'd like to do is give her the mic and allow her to talk about the value of education and kind of her vision and what she believes is important.
I'm actually going to start off by telling you guys like a statement, and I want you to think about it. And if you're like little, which a lot of you are, you're probably going to recognize it. So listen to the statement. You may be the one, but you're not the only one. Say it again. You may be the one, but you're not the only one. So it sounds like really cool and far out, but I didn't make it up. If you've ever watched Sophia the First, sometimes you can get like really profound statements from animated princesses. So I'm going to say it again. You may be the one, but you're not the only one. So I have a toddler, and we watch Sophia the First all the time. All the time. Like, our lives are filled with song, and it never ceases to amaze me. Like, this little kid, like, without her, the adults of Enchantia would never be able to function properly. Like, she teaches them how to be efficient and happy and joyful and caring. And it's really special because in this one particular episode where that statement comes out, she's trying to like save this entire kingdom. Like, this little kid is trying to save this entire kingdom, and no one's getting it right, and it's pretty overwhelming, obviously. And they're like, you may be the one, but you're not the only one. Like, that's literally the message that they keep telling her. And I think that's really cool. I'm also obsessed with superheroes. It's actually why I'm a teacher. We'll get to that later. But the entire like thread that ties superheroes' stories together is the idea that you may be the one, but you're not the only one. So if you think about that, like think of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's 4 of them, so they're clearly not the only one. But without like April and without Master Splinter teaching them, they would just be like teenage turtles. And there wouldn't really be a cartoon for that. Or if you look at Harry Potter, like yeah, he's got this magic going on, but without his professors, without his friends, without all of the Weasleys, he would just be like a lost teenager who doesn't understand the changes in his body. Like, we've all been there, and you'll be there soon. So again, like, he has this whole team that's like helping him to become who he needs to be, and it's awesome. And if you want to like stretch it a little bit more, if you think about like Batman, like he's got like cool gadgets and he's got his like fists because he's Batman, but without, I don't know, the butler and the commissioner and like every superhero he's ever partnered with in case he can't get the job done alone, it keeps extending. And that whole idea is so pervasive throughout all superhero stories that you may be the one, but you're not the only one. And I think it's super cool whenever you think about education itself. And again, I did not mean that ironically when I said it's why I became a teacher. But the idea with education, like our job is to help you guys figure out your superpower, like figure out your magic so you can take your place and help the world go round. Because we know the world is a little bit bigger and the impact we have is a little bit greater than like comic books or fictitious cartoons. It's a real world and it's amazing. And so it's pretty cool because in schools every single day, we partner together and we bring these experiences to kids that aren't even, we're not even going to talk about content yet. The idea that you're going to become compassionate, that you're going to have empathy, that you're going to value curiosity, that you're going to value each other, like your fellow students and your friends, that's pretty big and it's priceless, and it's something that education really strives to give you, because without caring, you don't bother to solve problems. And we know that people are always binding together to solve these problems because the community keeps moving forward. We continue to care, we continue to teach kids in ways that build that up. And I really like to think of school as like one big training ground, like it's 13 years of training to be the superhero. Because after you have those experiences, and after you have all the power to wield with words and numbers and sciences, and like working with your body with PE or working with arts and music, by the time you finish school, you have a much better idea of what your gifts are and how you're going to use those gifts to take your stand, so that whatever master plan there is for you, whatever that super cool special thing is that you're going to do that's so amazing and only you can do it, you're not doing it alone. And I think it's also important to remember that while we are building all of this and we're making these tiny superheroes help us all and really help the adults move the world forward, just like Sophia, we can't do that without community partnerships, because we don't have Batman's billions, and we definitely don't have like Harry Potter's gold bars and Gringotts, but we do have organizations and community help from Community Coffee with programs like Cash for Schools, because that's how teachers help you guys wield your talent. So whether it's literally money used to buy like wands, I've done that before, or turtle wax, I've not done that, but I'm thinking of a cool lesson I can use that in, or whether it's like, you know, helping you have like a cape so you could be a superhero. It's real things. But bigger than that, the money that Cash for Schools goes into, it makes me smile every single time. Like the idea that that money was used for chicken coops and for bird sanctuaries and for equipment for things so you can bond with your friends, which is a really important part of the human experience. Or in my classroom, like just tissues and Post-its would be what my wish list would be, like all the time, honestly. But all of those things are what help us build that up. And so I'm just so proud to be a part of a celebration that celebrates a community partnership that understands that even us, every single person sitting in this room and outside of the room, we're part of so much of a bigger community that we can even wrap our heads around. It's not just our school, it's not just our class, it's not just Baton Rouge or the state of Louisiana or the United States or the world even, because we're global citizens, but the way technology is moving us, we're citizens of this universe. And I think whenever you put it into perspective like that, the idea that Community Coffee is binding together with teachers and understanding that we are basically churning out superheroes every single day, but we're never going to send you out there in the world alone. We all rely on each other, and that's the power of education, and that's the power of a really, really strong community. So thank you so very much, and I'm so excited to share with you in your celebration today.
Wow, that was wonderful. Thank you. So, isn't she great? That is your Teacher of the Year for Louisiana. You know, it's really special to have someone who can advocate for the importance of education at multiple levels, both to you guys, and her message was great. You may be the one, but you're not the only one, but also to adults and to legislators and others who really help guide some of the future of our education. So thank you so much. We're really blessed to have you. I have another special guest I'm going to introduce as well, and he's a recipient of a new award that was created called the H. Norman Siraj III Award in honor of my father and Mom's past husband, Norman Siraj, who led this company for many, many years, was really the steward of this great brand for his lifetime. And he always identified that sometimes you do your job, you do your work, you do what's asked of you. And a lot of times you do a lot more than that because you have a passion, because you have a desire to be more than maybe what others even expect of you, to go that extra mile, to do the right thing, no matter how small or how big. And this award was named after him, and I think it was really inspired by the family to recognize that teachers, as hard as that job is, and you talked about a lot of the challenges there, that even teachers have a life outside that classroom and have a community that's bigger than them. And some of them go way beyond what we can recognize with a single recognition of just a Teacher of the Year. There's so many more to recognize in our state. And we have one of those, the first recipient of the H. Norman Siraj III Award is here with us today for his magnificent efforts inside and outside the classroom and really being a role model in his community as well as in his school. So John Wondergem, we'll welcome you to the podium.
Kim, I'm going to have to adjust this up a little bit. Sorry. Good morning. I'd like to start by saying that I am honored to be able to represent this organization, this company, Mr. Siraj, and it truly is an honor to be able to stand in front of you representing what all of us should be. I'm nobody special, simply was recognized for doing things that all of us should be doing on a daily basis. I have an opportunity to work with an organization called Royal Family Kids. We serve children in our local foster care system, children that come from abuse, neglect, abandonment, children that have been lied to by the actions of the adults in their lives and told that they have no value. And we have an opportunity as an organization to take these children to week-long camps and partner them with caring adults who then breathe hope into their lives and remind them of the potential that they were created with from the very beginning, that many times they've lost track of because of the situations in their life. Sitting in this room today, I'm looking around, and we are filled with limitless potential, and it's incredible. I look in this front row all the way to the back row, and it doesn't matter if you are 8 years old or if you're 80 years old. Each and every one of us has potential as long as we are breathing, and we have an opportunity to make an impact in other people's lives. I love what Kim said, is that we are training as educators the superheroes of our future, and it's very true. The young people that are going into the world are going into a world that is very scary, filled with negativity. What we need to do, just like Kim said earlier, was remind these young people and train these young people of the impact that they can have in the world that they are going into. You see, at our school, we go by 4 principles. We say we're eagles who soar. We're safe, we're organized, we're always kind, we're respectful. I just spoke with 850 students a couple of days ago. And I said, guys, if we can go by these last 2 principles and we can live these in our everyday life, if we can always be kind, even when it's not fun to be kind, even when other people are not being kind to me, if I can be kind, I'm gonna make an impact and change people around me. We're gonna start changing culture around us. The culture we live in right now is scary for a lot of us. We look at it and we go, how have we gotten here? What's going on? What kind of world are we in? What happened? But we can change that. Just as quickly as we've slid into that position, we can get right back out if we change the way we think and the way that we act, if we're always kind, if we respect people even though they may have completely, totally different opinions than we do. If we choose, and it's a daily choice. My wife always says to me, love is a daily choice, and I'm appreciative that she makes that choice every single day because she doesn't have to. But she's so right. Our opportunity to make a positive impact in this world is a choice. When we wake up, what are we going to do with that opportunity? We woke up with breath in our lungs. Let's do something with it. As educators, yes, it's our job to go and to teach children, to train children, and the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. But something that my mother's always said to me is actions speak louder than words. So one of the things that I like to think of is, what am I doing? What are my actions speaking to my students, to the children that are around me? I have 7 kids of my own. What am I teaching my children? I saw that. She's like, sweet Lord. What am I teaching? What am I training them to do? What are they seeing in my actions? Because I can show up every single day and I can teach what's in the curriculum. I can teach young people what they need to know in order to pass the standardized test, which all of my kids are stressing out about this week at school. Okay? I can teach them all those things. And I do a pretty good job at that. But just like Kim said, who we are is not defined by what we can write down in a book or how we can respond to a test. Who we are is defined by the actions that we show. And what are we showing other people? Who are we being in this world around us, and what kind of impact are we making? And so again, I think companies like Community, who are here and standing with us saying, you know what, this is important that we have educators who are out there who are training our young people to not just be good students, but to be good citizens. Because that's what truly matters. At the end of the day, just like John Maxwell says, it does not matter how much you know until you've shown somebody how much you care. People are not going to listen to you until they know that you are invested in them. And so we have to go out and always be kind and respectful. And when we do that, we'll have an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. And it's because of companies like Community that we're able to do that. Because of the Community Cares program that we're able to go out and make an impact like this. And so I'm very thankful, and thank you guys for your time this morning.
Unbelievable. We have unbelievable people in our state and in our country. We have unbelievable leaders in the classroom and in our education system. And I'm honored that you're able to join us today. You're going to help celebrate all these recipients because everyone in this room are wonderful, outstanding contributors in their own way. And some of them are getting nervous feet and nervous sitting. We're going to try to get you guys moving around and do some check presentations because that's where we are today. And if I can try to put some definition behind what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and announce the school, and we're going to start with the number 10. We got all 10 schools here, by the way. 10 up to the top earner, which nobody knows who the top earner is yet, but somebody is. And as a group or the individual that's going to receive the check comes up, I'll tell you a little bit about how they earned it, and we'll take a photograph here. I believe we'll be facing straight ahead, unless I'm told otherwise. And then we'll keep moving until we get to number 1, and then we'll have some activities afterwards. Okay, so if I mispronounce anything, do let me know, but I think I know all these people. And then also is Scott Eckert. All right, Scott Eckert's our Vice President of Marketing. He's going to be helping with the presentation. Kim is circling the back. She's going to help with the presentation. Kim Eckert and Scott Eckert are not related. You're probably thinking, this got to be rigged. They both share a fabulous last name, and Scott leads our marketing efforts and really spearheads all the programs we've talked about today in social responsibility and corporate efforts, working with Jody Connigan, who leads all of our social programs here at Community Coffee. So we got some superstars in our presence, and now we're going to talk about our honorees. And number 10 is St. Bernard Catholic School, who earned $2,513. As you're getting set up for this first one, I'll let you know that the school is also planning with these monies to fund a mother-son bowling day and a father-daughter dance. Now, I know what a father-daughter dance is, but a mother-son bowling day has got to be a lot of fun. So I hope it goes very well.
3, 2, 1. Perfect. Got it.
Thank you. Okay, and number 9, who earned $2,567 is St. John, who's joined us. Now, St. John, as I understand, is investing in technology in a learning environment, and St. John it seems like they're here every year, so it's so wonderful to have you back. Hey, guys. You want to take a picture with us? All right. Congratulations. You want to do this, guys?
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, get it.
Great. All right. All right. Numbers are getting higher. $2,778 is Marrero Academy for Advanced Studies. Now, this is, as I understand, your first time in the top 10, right? You're welcome. Welcome to the top 10 club. We're proud of you.
3, 2. Good.
There you go. Congratulations. Thank everybody for their hard work. At number 7, Pinewood Elementary, $2,862. Congratulations. Now, if you want to know how they earn this much money, as I understand it, Coke and popcorn parties. Popcorn parties are thrown once a month for the highest earning labeled classrooms. So thank you all the kids in classrooms that participated.
3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
These guys all arrived early today, and I saw them staring at the big cup outside. And you came on a beautiful day. I know you made a long trip. I'm really glad that you joined us here at Community. So thank you so much. Okay, we're almost at $3,000 at 2,976 is Central Intermediate. And again, their success is contests between grades and classrooms, and spending the money there on the school campus. We're really glad to have you. You've been in the elite top 10 group before, and we hope you make it to number 1 next year. That's the challenge. So, who wants to hold the check? All right, let's squeeze in.
3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Good.
Congratulations. Okay, can I welcome the representatives of St. Thomas More? We're at $3,167 of earnings. And they also are investing in technology for the classrooms to understand with the funds. Congratulations.
This is a better picture. Watching that. 3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2. Perfect.
Congratulations. At $3,279, I'll think about that. That's over 32,000 proofs of purchase collected, counted, and submitted to Community Coffee is St. George School. Interesting, I'm reading a note here they gave me that says that this year they'll be opening a brand new preschool, and they're going to use some of the monies towards that effort as well. So congratulations.
You guys up? Yeah.
Just dragging things for you guys to hold that. All right, big smiles. All right.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Great, congratulations. Thank you all for being here, kids. All right. If I can welcome the recipients of our third, we're getting the top 3, all right? This is Win Play Show here. Mermentau Elementary has now crested the $4,000 mark. It's $4,240 is your earnings. Congratulations. You want to hold the check? And thank you for making the trip. We got some school spirit. Everybody's worn their school things today.
No, I was giving them for you. Here we go. Right here. 3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2, 1.
It is so great to see the kids here. The first couple of years, it was just the administrators and staff, and then school started inviting the students. Really made a difference. I know each of you are probably leaders in your school towards this effort, and earned the right, and the privilege to be here. We are blessed to have you. So thank you for doing that. Number 2 is really someone who's broken into the scene of our Cash for Schools program, and from the very first year, they were a nearly highest performer, and the second year they were our highest earner. And they've really done an outstanding job with the organization. One thing I think that's important is that we share the success stories, and at communitycoffee.com and through our Cash for Schools literature, hopefully you can take some best practices away, because I know that the Church Academy in Santa Monica is one of those schools who has a well-oiled machine, does a great job. Over $5,000, $5,447. This is the 4th time that the Church Academy has joined us here. and they participated for only 4 years in the program. So you guys are very organized. Congratulations. That was tremendous effort.
3, 2, squeeze your head out. 1, there you go. Look around the shoulder. Can't see your face. There you go. Perfect. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, perfect.
Great job. All right, that means there's only one school left. They know who they are. Almost 70,000 proofs of purchase collected, counted, at earnings of which I believe is our probably second highest number within a few $100s really ever from an effort by a school at $6,800. That's a really great program and great effort. I can't imagine what you do in all the other programs. You all to raise money for your beautiful school of St. Leo Seton. Welcome to Community Coffee and our top recipient. I would love for you to share with us how you did this, and the type of organization, but really what works and what makes a difference for your school in getting people organized around the program. So if you want to take the mic, the podium is yours.
I'll introduce them and we can go from there.
Good.
We want to say thank you to Community Coffee, and we're very excited about this. We have a great team that takes care of all this stuff. This is Principal Kimberly Gautreaux, Amos Batista, Development Director, and Jen Dupuy, who handles the Community Coffee. So we're honored to be here, and we're very excited. So I'm going to let Ms. Gautreaux talk a little bit.
Thank you. I think one of the things that's important to remember is that it's not one person who does this. We're blessed that we have a very big stakeholder group. We try and get our grandparents on our campus as often as we can. We have a motto, coffee's always on, and it's always community at our school, because we want people to come and visit our schools. And while they're there, the economy is at a point where people can't hand over checks to schools anymore, but people are still buying coffee. And it makes them feel that it's something that they can do to support schools without having to dip into their checkbooks and just hand over cash to a school. And it's amazing to know a company like Community has a product that every piece of product on a shelf in every store in every city has the potential to come back to a school and touch the hands of kids. I know our money probably this year is going to be going to Playground, because it's important for kids not just in the classroom, but they need to be outside because they're spending so much time inside right now. And so knowing that that's what we're going to spend it on will really help people support the program. So it's people like Jen, who is a classroom assistant, who sits there and cuts and organizes and shows the kids, look, this big box is going to the mail, we're sending our labels in. It's people like that that help this program go. We advertise all the time, come have coffee, bring your labels. We have 2 church-owner parishes. The parishioners of those parishes are helping us as well collect the labels. So we appreciate this, we truly, truly do.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Congratulations. It's really amazing, and it sounds so simple, but it's not. And I know this is it's not just Community Cash for Schools at your school either, that it's really an effort around things that can make a difference. And you said something very important I want everybody to take away from this, and we try to reiterate every year. We sell more than 3 million products at Community Coffee. There are a lot of proof of purchases floating around there that have not made their ways to schools yet. And our goal is to get those proofs of purchases to the schools. We want the schools to benefit from this program. We want it to be bigger next year than it was this year, and we want you all to have a more successful year next year than you even had this year, because I know you've done an outstanding job, and I hope to see you again next year.
First of all, it's an extreme shock. We came here today knowing we were in the top 10, but had no idea that we were the #1 school in the state, and we had never been top 10 before. So this was a shocking but such an appreciative moment for us. Our school has committed this pocket of money to support our playground program, because we want our children to not just be good learners in the classroom, but we want them to be active participants in their environment. So we'll be using this money for our playground.
Community Cash for Schools program is really dependent on people taking action at the school level. So enrolling in the program and having an advocate, communicating with parents and grandparents and local businesses to collect the proof of purchase from community products and donate them to the school each and every year, because those proofs of purchase are money and the monies add up. We're proud that over 4 million proofs of purchase were redeemed just last year alone. So it's an ongoing program we're going to continue to support as a central pillar to our business.
I am here today to represent Royal Family Kids Camp, and that's a community service organization that serves children in our foster care system. So every year we serve anywhere from 50 to 85 kids with a week-long summer camp, and these are children that are in our local foster care system. We bring them to a camp in the Hammond area, and they are from Baton Rouge all the way to Washington Parish and everywhere in between. We don't charge any money for these children to attend. We don't charge the state or their families that take care of them. And so what we do is we provide this week of camp where we create positive memories for children who have no positive memories. They're coming from abuse and neglect, a background that has told them a story in their life that we believe is a lie, that has told them they're not valuable. And our goal with Royal Family Kids is to create a bunch of experiences where these children have an opportunity to know their value and to have a sense of hope moving forward.
It's amazing how you can literally learn a lesson from anything. So I watch a lot of Disney because I have a toddler, and we watch it all the time. And so the little character, Sophia the First, she said in an episode, "You may be the one, but you're not the only one." And it's so interesting. I hear it so much, but I've really kind of internalized it, because really no matter how big a job is, you're not the only one that's tasked with that work, and you're not the only one that's tasked with doing that. And I think that that's such a special part of Community Coffee, and the fact that it represents community and helping us all understand sometimes life's jobs are hard, but you're not the only one, and you're not the only one that has to do it. You're not alone. There's always help, and you should always reach out and help others as well. To be Louisiana Teacher of the Year, it's better and bigger and more wonderful than anything I could have imagined. And the reason for that is, and I always joke, the position is not about in any way anything that I think I've accomplished. I think it's the potential of what can be accomplished. And I'm a representative, I'm a humble representative of Teachers of Louisiana. Like on any given day, I'm not the best teacher, like even in my class, because the kids are better teachers than me a lot of days. And I think it's really special to have a position like this that serves to elevate the profession, because a lot of the work I've done is just helping people look again at a profession that desperately needs all of the love and all of the support of all of their communities to help us continue giving really high quality education to kids. And I think that through that, the networks and the communication and the partnerships and the new friends that I've made, my own understanding of policy has really enhanced a lot, because I can now see bigger ways that I can make an impact and bigger ways that I can help other teachers and students to have a greater impact as well.
If people want to get involved with Royal Family Kids Camp, they can do so by going to our parent nonprofit, which is One Hope Alliance, and that is onehopela.org. Or they can look us up on Facebook, Royal Family Kids Louisiana, and find out more ways that they can get involved.
So information about Cash for Schools program is at communitycoffee.com, and that's where registration materials are. We register every fall, where ideas of how to incent the collections at your school, where success stories are shared, are all on our website at communitycoffee.com.